Okay, hello, Fransisca.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me for this interview. I wanted to talk to you today and to the people that are watching. Hello, I wanted to talk to you today about frequencies. And we had an interesting conversation that we also experimented with some instruments also. And maybe we're going to share a little bit about it. But first, I want to get to know you. So can you say hello and share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, hello. So I'm Fransisca from Germany. And yeah, I'm here on the island for 2 months already. And
We're in 𝕨𝕒𝕟𝕜.
Yes,
Thailand.
Thailand. And I'm very interested in health for like years already. So I tried a lot of alternative medicine and stuff, but I never really got into frequency healing. But then it was like 1.5 years ago, I've been to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and there I came across frequency therapy. So yeah, that's what I'm very passionate about. So, and that's what we also talked about during an experiment also. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what's coming up for me when I hear frequencies, there's the kind of like, first of all, there's the new age or like positive psychology conversation about frequencies. It's like you need to be in a higher frequency, like lower frequency. It's like be positive, have positive vibes, man, stuff like that. But I wonder what it really is to mean that you be in a higher frequency. Like, what does it really mean in my physical body when a frequency changes? Or how is like, am I made out of frequencies? How does it work?
Like for me, I think frequency is like, we don't see it, right? But it doesn't mean that it's not there. And for me, I feel it maybe from meditation, or maybe also from Kundalini activation, or from different tools. I feel that frequency is happening, right? And for me, actually, it's a tool when I always see angel numbers, like 1111 or 1212. For me, I'm connected then. And for me, this is like a sign I'm in a high frequency. So I feel things are coming, things are flowing. This is for me being up in a high frequency. Like you attach or attract things in the frequency you are, right?
Yeah, a good example of that I just thought about since we started to connect about frequencies is that someone would be what we call in a lower frequency, and he can walk into like a crowded street of people, and he would find even let's say he wants to fight, like he want to fight someone, he wants to go into like this low drama, and he's gonna find like the one person there in the whole crowd that wants to fight too.
Yeah.
And these two people are gonna meet each other. And on the other hand, like two people that are in like this great or like in a different mood, different frequencies, somehow they're gonna meet together and have like a blast. And it's both happening in two places, in the same place. Like one person comes with this kind of vibe and they meet. And so I think this is what you're talking about. And I wonder how it comes to really into, how does it come into reality with actual frequencies? Like is it like a number or like a wavelength? What is that?
So there are so many different frequencies. We already know them from medicine, right? When we have very high frequencies, we have it in hospitals maybe for scanning. I don't even know the English word. So yeah, what is the English word when you scan the body? Like
with like scanners? I don't know.
Yeah, MRT and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yes. The sun has special frequencies, right? And our body is working with frequencies also. So it's the length of the waves of the frequency, right? And there are frequencies which are very high and also not on the visible part, which are not maybe very good for our body. But then there are frequencies like our Earth also has a frequency, the Schumann frequency. and we are resonating. Like our body is always working with frequencies, but sometimes maybe it gets out of balance because we are surrounded by so many frequencies from Wi-Fi, from phone and stuff that maybe get us out of balance. And when we are not in the right frequency, right? Maybe we also feel it with bad thoughts. Bad thoughts, or thoughts, positive thoughts, maybe have another energy than bad thoughts. So, and then you can bring back your body into balance and support the self-healing process when everything is in balance and can work better.
Mm-hmm. What I wanted to ask you, probably a lot of you asking yourself, is higher frequency necessarily better than lower frequency? Because I see sometimes some people have like a slower rhythm. And I know that higher frequencies, it's like a wavelength that is shorter. So it's like faster because it's shorter. And like, for example, a high pitched note, it also like the wavelength is shorter and the sound is higher and it's more fast. But some people are more slow. If you look at Ayurveda, and some people have like a slower rhythm.
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot about like, I want to be in a high vibration, but I don't think it means literally like all the time higher frequency. Like maybe if I need to heal some of part of my body, it's like it's not necessary. It's like, can you say something about that anyways?
Yeah, it is a very good question. And from my point of view, I think it always depends on the state, maybe where you are, where you want to be. Mm-hmm. When I think in brain waves, maybe some people of you know brain waves, you know brainwave music.
Yeah.
You can turn it on for the brain waves, maybe alpha, beta, gamma. And some frequencies, like the high frequency music, you put on for concentration. When you want to have the slow ones, maybe it's for sleeping, mm-hmm. right? So it always depends on which state you want to be. So it always depends. Also depends on the frequency. Maybe it's also different from the definition. When you have a good aura, like you are balanced in your chakras, then you maybe have in general another attraction energy. For me, maybe it's two different things. Mm-hmm. Having a strong aura, but also maybe switching between the frequency level, whatever you need right now. And also every organ has different frequencies. Your heart chakra has another frequency than your root chakra, or your bones has another frequency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what would you say that the healing happens like if you balance that organ, or?
Yes, like everything, like from the theory, every organ chakra has its own frequency. And when it's out of balance, because maybe we're surrounded by frequencies which are not very helping us staying in balance, also our thoughts maybe bring mm-hmm. us into a disbalance. And the goal is to bring maybe the organ, your heart or whatever, bring it back into the natural rhythm. Mm. And when it's in disbalance, the self-regulation process of the body cannot really work. I mean, that's a boat. Maybe we wait a bit. Yes. Oh yeah. Will be refreshing now, being on the boat, I think.
Yeah.
It's good hot here. So I think it's about the balance. It's not all about being there or there. Like every part of your body needs another harmonizing frequency, mm-hmm. and that's what you want to be.
And if you turn a bit to the camera and look really and tell them.
Okay.
If someone is watching this, for example, and is like, what can I do with frequencies? Like, it's the first time that I hear about frequencies. Mm. I didn't even know that it matters. Like, how can they actually use frequencies for self-empowerment?
For me, it has become a very important topic. Actually, we know we are surrounded by frequencies, but we can also use it as a tool. So I think the first part is being aware of it and maybe get a feeling for different frequencies and maybe how different people change my frequency also. Or maybe a room changes a frequency where I feel home or where I don't really feel the vibe. Or maybe music, which brings me into a frequency which doesn't really get into harmony with myself. So first step, maybe get aware of frequency. And then tools, maybe in your everyday life, is your thoughts. So also be aware of your thoughts. And when, it's also a good example, maybe when you think about a situation where you felt a lot of anger, which is your topic, or maybe hate.
It's my job.
Or you're very sad. In that moment, your body processes chemicals and doing the processes in your body. When you now think back into that situation, your body is actually doing the same than maybe the situation 2 weeks ago. So the body cannot really, doesn't know if the situation happened or you just think about it. So that's why it's really important to watch out for your thoughts, because your thoughts have different vibrations and information which has a really high impact, in my opinion, on your body. So watch your thoughts and maybe start visualizing in a positive way, and listen to frequency music, or if you have the opportunity, work with a frequency device. For me, it changed a lot. Like when I use frequency music at home, you can look up at Spotify or YouTube or whatever, put frequency music on, then there's different hertz vibrations, maybe for the heart or for cleansing the aura. So there's different possibilities. And then you try it, and then you watch, does something happen into your body, in your mind, or maybe in the room also, because you can also clean the vibration or the energy of the room to feel more comfortable. Yes, so I would say that are maybe good tools for the beginning.
There are a couple of really interesting things in what you're saying, and one of them is about emotion, and you mentioned my work, and in my work we distinct between emotions and feelings. So between like conscious feelings and unconscious feelings. And what happens in my workshops, like for example, I just did an anger rage workshop here, which is about conscious anger. When people experiment with conscious anger, the feeling that they had, it was unfamiliar to them. Even though some of these people came to the workshop because they were like, I have a problem with anger, I cannot control my anger, like I'm being reactive. But still, like going to conscious anger, it just like they were stunned. You know, they were like, whoa, this feels different. And what you're saying is really interesting, Ki, because now what I think is that maybe conscious feelings have a different frequency than unconscious feelings. Because unconscious feeling is like emotions, it's like feeling that got stuck in your body from childhood.
Yeah. And you always connect it maybe to a situation, the emotion, right? So for everyone, it's different because we connect it with different situations from our childhood or whatever.
Yeah, and in that situation, probably the frequency of the whole situation was kind of like, I don't want to say low, because like low is not necessarily better than high, but maybe it was like this harmonized frequency. And I don't know if the part of when we talk about harmonized frequencies in this part or the part that got deleted because we didn't record. No, because the microphone stopped working. But like maybe this part of your childhood had you experienced something and the emotions where they were so unharmonized, like the whole situation was not harmonized with like what you came here for the world to do. You know, we run into that a lot in emotional healing process that we do. Like someone remembers like an experience and it was not like what they were here for to do. It was probably the opposite. And it was so disharmony that the emotion probably got stuck with like a frequency that was not, until today, is not matching to where they're going.
Like, I think it's a very important thing. I'm not that deep into the topic than you are because it's your job. But maybe in the last 2 years, I read a lot about stuck emotions in the body. And the emotions also have different frequencies. And in my opinion, stuck emotions and unprocessed emotions is often a reason for maybe, yeah, when you're sick or maybe something is happening in your body, what you don't want to be actually.
Mm-hmm.
But the emotion maybe has another energy than your organ. But the emotion is stuck maybe in your tummy or somewhere where you have an issue. So then the healing or the natural frequency is out of balance because of the stuck emotion. So I think it's also a very important thing about, yeah, looking into that topic.
Yeah. And another interesting thing that you said about it, and it's connected, is that you can change it. Let's say you have a stuck emotion in your body and like your knee is not functioning.
Yeah.
And then you can change the frequency with your thoughts. I think that's what you said, because thoughts has frequency. So you can actually control that and like bring the frequency that you want. If you could have been sensitive to what is like the frequency that in my and I want to talk about the device in this. It's like, what is the frequency in my knee that is like not in harmony, and then use the right thoughts with the right frequency to shift that, to harmonize your knee, let's say.
Yeah. So I think that's how it works. And sometimes maybe also things are coming up when you work on that, because you release maybe emotions or situations. So I think sometimes you maybe also can feel uncomfortable or maybe also dizzy when something is changing in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually need to remember the knee coming into the right. What is the harmonizing frequency of the knee? Because the knee doesn't know anymore, you know? So.
But you think that, do we know? Like, we talked about it also in the part that got deleted. It's like, what like, let's get personal, and like, what is it about you that, like, when I met you, I felt that like there's something in your aura or like in your energy it like works. It's like in harmony. It's like I could really feel your energy and connect, and there was like something in harmony there almost. What is the, it's like, maybe my question is like, what is the part of you that knows how to harmonize that or to control that frequency?
Well, I think it's not too easy to say, but I think the energy people feel is kind of the aura. And it's important that you are balanced in your thoughts. It's also kind of a frequency. It's different levels of frequencies to have a strong aura. But I think when we maybe think in human design, have you like learned about human design? You know,
don't talk to me about human design.
Okay, don't. Okay. Well, but I think still, if you believe in human design or not, whatever,
we don't.
I think
in this channel we don't have beliefs.
Okay. Yes. That some people maybe have the open aura and some people maybe not, even if they are in harmony, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, but I think it's very hard to say. But for me, I think it's very important about the thoughts, having good thoughts, and maybe, yeah, strengthen your energy and being in trust with life.
Maybe can you share something you said before, like, it really worked for me, but something like brought you into this work with frequencies. Like, where did you came from that you felt like the necessity to?
Well, you often, start with these topics when you have any topics, right? So, yeah, in my youth, it was the thing that I had a lot of pimples, and I thought, well, why? What does my body wants to tell me? Or, I mean, when I was 15, I didn't know that I need to go this deep, but usually it's a sign of your body wants to tell you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I came into the part, trying alternative medicine also, and tried a lot of things. And then just 2 years ago, not too long ago, frequencies came into my life. For me, it's a tool. I think there are a lot of tools, and you can see which works for you. And it happened when I've been to a workshop of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he is talking a lot about self-healing with using the placebo effect. So, and the placebo effect is having positive thoughts, and think in your knee, like how it's being healed. And he was healing himself with his thoughts in the hospital. Actually, he couldn't walk, and and I think it's very interesting, and he shows how you can create special frequencies from within.
It's so interesting. It's almost like if you take out the word positive and just think about, like, okay, let's talk about the device, how it works, because it's connected to this. Because like, if I can just like think about the right frequency for what I want to fix. Like for me, because I work with feelings and emotions and a lot, what I know is that emotions are feeling that's stuck in the emotional body. They do have expression in the physical body, in the energetic body. Like someone that have unconscious anger, then their energy is gonna go into a crowd of people and find someone to fight with. That's how like the energy is affected from the emotion. But when you do an emotional healing process and you kind of transform the emotions change. But then it's like you need to find almost like to feel exactly the right feeling that you felt in the past that got stuck. And the whole healing process is to guide you to feel that. So it's almost like finding the frequency that happened there and harmonize that frequency. And so it's like this guy, what he did when he was in the hospital, he almost like with the thoughts, it probably was positive thoughts, like what we define as positive, but he really taught the right thing to heal exactly that, to harmonize that part of himself. And that's kind of like what the device does from my experience.
Yeah, I mean, we can create it from within, right? The frequencies.
Yeah.
But it's not too easy in the everyday life because we're surrounded by a lot of stuff, a lot of thoughts about vibes about the people, which we cannot always maybe disconnect from, also Wi-Fi, whatever. So I think we can do a lot from within, but for me it's not very easy to come into the state of the special feeling. It's not too easy to always get into the state of the emotion. And so for me, it's a tool to work with a frequency device where I can support my body, even if I cannot like meditate every day for 2 hours, to do it on my own. So for me, it's a tool to support the process of selfing, bringing back my body into balance. Yeah.
So we're talking about this device that we experiment with, that you have, and it comes from this work of the professor guy you mentioned.
No, it's another.
It's another.
Yeah,
it's come from this company, and so I experimented with this device. I put it on my bag, and there is like on my back, and there is a certain program that in the beginning there is a device that scans your frequency, and then he offers you these different programs where you can basically radiate. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? It's like radiate this frequency onto the place that is in disharmony, and then you can, with this program, you can work on certain things that you want to improve. And I worked mainly on the physical body because what I found is that even though I tried like some emotional healing process, feeling practitioner work, it's called, to work on my physical body, I think the disharmony there is really big. So
we want to find out which frequency program is the best for your back and for his feet. So we're doing an analysis.
This thing.
And now concentrate on the question, what do you need right now the most? Okay. Okay. So, because we were thinking, does he need the joint program or the foot harmony program? And now, the most important programs is soft tissue and the joints. So that tells us that maybe it's the best to work with the frequencies for the joints program. Okay.
Which I have a problem with.
What do you like? Do you feel good with the joint or soft tissues? But I'm not sure if it's the right for the foot or for the back.
I think the soft tissue is probably for my problem with the
You
heel,
think?
and the joint is for the lower back.
Yes? Okay. What do you want to start with? So I connect the device with the app. We're taking this one because this one is very good for when you have something with the joints, to work with the magnetic field. And I go to the program group, soft tissue, and we see where to put it, but we can also put it on the foot. It's transmitting via Bluetooth. So now you can place it next to where the issue is.
Put the foot here so I can continue working.
Yes, perfect.
So I'm literally putting this here and there.
And you can still work, right?
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will. We
It
will
was
figure it
easier
out.
with the back, because with the back I just put it here and I kept working.
Yes, we will do it later. So you can just continue working. And
See you on the other side.
yes,
The program.
and we switch off the Bluetooth so we don't have Bluetooth connection.
So experiment with this device, and it was weird. Like from my back, after I used it on my back the first time, like I started to feel a lot of clicks, like something there got released.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And also with the heart chakra, we also worked.
Oh right, we did it the first time.
Yeah, you also felt that, right?
Yeah, I felt something different. It's almost the way I defined it is that there was a certain set of possibilities that was possible in my, let's say, in my heart chakra. It's kind of like, it's harder for me to say because I can really fast shift my feelings if I really have enough anger and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and do that. But like with my back, what I felt that there was like a certain set of possibilities that was available, and then the different frequencies that was projected there suddenly changed the set of possibilities. It's almost like something happens to you and you change your frequency, suddenly you can walk around and meet someone, or something new can happen to you because the set of possibilities changed. Like, and this device is like does that to you.
And maybe give the direction of the possibilities, and then give the direction to bring it back into structure or balance.
Yeah, and that's like you say, it's not something that we always can do to myself. Like I could not do it to my back with just thinking about it.
Maybe you could, but it's a long way until you really get into the stage.
Yeah. And now that, like, if we go there, I think that that's what probably yogis and like people that have this like very like high healing forces, that's what they're doing. They're just like changing your frequency. And
yeah, you can measure it. Like monks, for example, when they work with their hands, it's creating a magnetic field and also electricity. So this is also another part, not only the frequency, but also you usually also create or need electricity and a magnetic field to bring the frequencies into your body. So yeah, it's also connected and very interesting. But yeah, a big topic.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here in thinking about frequencies and start playing with them. Like I wonder, what happens if you attune yourself to something? It's like before I started working with feelings, it was just like a dead area in my life. And there's so many possibilities once I started working with it. And I also got more accurate with that. I could learn the in and outs. I started to learn how things work with that, and it really could change my life. So I wonder what happens if you start doing it with frequencies. Maybe it's an area that you didn't work before. And so you can have, I guess, Francis, okay if they ask you about the device, or some way if they connect with you and ask you about it?
Yeah, sure.
So there's a cool device that you can experiment with and see if it works for you. And there's, you can hear all this different kind of meditation music. You can start notice what is the music that your expose yourself does. And you can also start to look at people, like maybe even look at certain people as frequencies and see if this person's frequency, does it work for me or not? Not necessarily in terms of it's like a bad person or a good person, is positive or negative, but just like, is this the right frequency for me right now?
Yeah, and right now. It doesn't have to be like it's always maybe not the right vibe, but right now maybe it's not harmonizing. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad we did this interview.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very helpful for people.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, tune into the world of frequencies. So for me, it's like a new world, and I think also even in the healthcare, there's gonna be a lot of quantum physics and frequency in the future, I think. So I think you're gonna hear about more. You're gonna hear more about it, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Stay tuned to the future. See you, and I'm gonna connect, Francis, your stuff here. So if they want to find you and connect with you more, I love your work. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for your time and for having me here.
Yes.
Hey guys.
See you from Koh Phangan, Thailand.